Now, how... I guess you... Right, this is... I was thinking maybe you have to do this later, but no. Anyways, I guess... Now we get more opportunities to play around with our abilities. Like, did I ever actually show off Bane? You know, I think I tried to, but never found a good opportunity to do so. So I guess now is a good time as any. And now that I guess the Ranger has this too, but we can use Mass Agility, so we don't have to mess with our Djinns anymore to boost everyone's speed at once. I'll wait to use the Star Ring when we actually start using Synergy. That feels a little more realistic to me personally. So, nice speed boost, don't have to worry about any of these monsters outpacing us anytime soon. And I think we came across... It's hard to remember which ones we came across in the Venus Lighthouse and the way up to it already, and which ones are completely new. But there's Bane in effect. Now that... And it is venom and not ordinary poison, so... they're screwed! Yeah, and getting... It's kind of funny that I just bought that one staff from the store, but I'm loving this random staff that we got from the lottery already. Oh, and darn, I was gonna take this opportunity to actually show off the star staff, but alas, I guess another time. And you know what, because we pretty much got good free synergy for a little bit, why not do a little sauna? And oh yeah, since we're reaching endgame and almost have all the Djinns, we're actually reaching the point where our classes are at their full potential. One of the features of Dawn of Djinn is that Synergy class works a little bit differently. You may have seen it throughout the adventure that certain synergies would upgrade into new ones as we got stronger, like if we were just in a normal swordsman class, we would have like Cutting Edge, Wave Slash, or if we had nothing but Mercury Djinns, and maybe a Venus, we could possibly have an even stronger one. But since we're in a Tri-Elemental class, it has a little offshoot. That's where Geyser Crash comes from. It's an upgraded version of Wave class, exclusive to the Dragoon class. As far as I remember. There might be one offshoot class I'm not thinking of at the moment, but I also might be mixing it up with ideas I have for version 2. I mean, second mix. Right, this is the path to our second last Grand Djinn. The last Grand Djinn that we haven't seen yet. I think we actually saw a couple of these nightmares already at Void Island. Also, I could probably like mess around with Djinns again to at least let Garrett have a better class. Maybe another time. Ivan might be a better example. And maybe you could get Sonic Slash normally. But the point I was trying to get at earlier is that when you reach the strongest class, or when a class reaches the strongest form that you can get into this game, the levels that you can learn Synergy at gets cut. So you may see a lot of Synergy coming up ahead that you're normally used to associating with Lost Age. Because normally in Golden Sun 1, you would normally not get them unless you did an excessive amount of grinding, like crazy amount of grinding. Like some of the synergies you normally wouldn't get until like level 40, maybe even level 50. Levels that you were never intended to actually get to in Golden Sun 1. But since Dawn of Djinn was made to be kind of a standalone thing, I decided to work in a little trade-off thing so that these powerful synergies don't go to waste, but they're not completely overpowered. So it ties into the whole Djinn system even more because you basically have to have all your Djinns set in order to have access to these endgame synergies. And at least we got to see Platonic Fury in action. That's pretty cool. As I was saying though, we get to see... What was I saying? Last thing I remember was... I'm sure I can hold that thought for a little bit longer. Never mind, I thought we'd get something new with the Dragoon class. I guess if I make everyone just buy elemental classes for a little bit, it might be easier to see what... It might be easier to show rather than just tell. But I've been here, let's see... I guess because of the weird way it works, you do need one more Jupiter Djinn to fully reach it, but now that we're in the Fire Monk class, this is the final form of this I've been focused on Mars Djinns. And because of that, we got access to Sonic Slash way earlier than before. I'll just spoil it now. We'll actually get Spark Plasma by level 30 as long as we have this class set up. And Pyroclasm somewhere along the way. We're pretty close at level 25. I tried to build Dawn of Djinn in a way that everything's built around the assumption that max level is level 30. It's not a hard cap. How it really works is like level 30, you learn all your moves, and every level beyond that, like the experience needed to level up gets higher and higher at an exponential rate. And so by the time you reach level 35, it's just like kind of capped up to the point of like, no, you're done. That's the highest you're gonna go. Couldn't exactly program it to cut off like that, but let's just say even if you spend weeks grinding, I'd be surprised if you can level up past level 35. So it's just better not to. Everything you need to beat Dawn of Djinn is possible in a level 27 to level 30 range. And that's just from the casual player standpoint. Oh shoot, I got distracted. I was gonna show off the whole Djinn thing. So yeah, all that awesome cool synergy we have, that's because we're Fire Monk, the strongest class that we can have with this sort of arrangement of Djinns. Even just putting one of these Djinnies on standby. Look at everything we lose. We lose Sonic Slash, we lose Shrine Plasma. Because even though we're at level 25, we normally wouldn't have that move until a few more levels. Vine got upgraded to Vine. So going down in class, we're gonna have to go back to that normal Vine that doesn't have a 3 parameter range and gets completely outclassed by Luff. Now, funny thing with how this didn't really click with me until I was working with Dawn of Djinn, but the classes that have Djinnies with the element that they have, there's a plot, I don't want to spoil the plot thing, but there's a plot thing that talks about how like Venus and Mars are one and the same, and Mercury, and by extension, Mercury and Jupiter share symmetry with each other. That's not as much of a Deus Ex Machina as I thought, because specifically because of this setup, you get into powerful classes with your Djinns much easier than you do otherwise. That'll be more reflected in version 2. But let's just roll. margin on Garrett to see. Like, the fact that the classes actually mess around a bit and all. But yeah, like, all the things that we lose, we're level 25 and we don't have access to wild growth. We only got that because we have the strongest class possible for this Djinn setup. And then there's like the upgraded Poltergeist being upgraded to Spirit Army and fun stuff like that. I'm doing a horrible job explaining things actually and being around the bush. Long story short, super strong classes let you get access to synergy quicker. It's all it really boils down to. I think I actually want to, if only for just like a couple battles, I think we'll play around with these classes as is. Wait. Maybe I'm picking a wrong time to hop on into it quite yet. All that chittily chatty chat aside. Oh hey, a random battle that I can show off some of the cool, awesome abilities that we may get access to soon. Let's see if we get lucky and have that work. But we got Break, which isn't quite as strong. Right. We'll really get to see it in action when Mia gets into the fray. But when her class is fully upgraded, it becomes Cold Break. Basically, it's normal. It's a break from Vanilla Golden Sun, plus it does damage. Oh, hey, that's new. I guess there's way too many sprites in this battle. But at least I got to show that in action. No effect. It's too bad. Yeah. Too many sprites. Mia just got sent to the Shadow Realm, apparently. And I kind of forgot about the difficulty spike that this area has. Maybe I picked a bad time to mess around. The wild growth at least helps a little bit. You might as well wish, and you... Any other cool things that we can show off with your fantasy class? Won't complain about having these moves a little early though, so maybe we'll get one of them in the fray. So you can kind of, with that in mind, you might be able to see why I didn't feel as bad about putting extra emphasis on the Djinns. Like, it kind of balances itself near the end, because the Djinns are more powerful, so you want to use them. But if you use the Djinns, you also lose a little bit of access to some of these more powerful synergies that you get near the end of the game, normally. That's at least an intent. I do, and now that I kind of realize how the classes work specifically between Venus and Mars, and then between Jupiter and Mercury, I do have ideas to actually expand upon that in Dawn of Djinn more proper. Also, we finally got access to unlimited Ultimate Waters. Not exactly the time I wanted to receive it, honestly. They were kind of clogging my inventory as is, but it is free synergy healing, so I don't got too much room to complain. Alright. I can't believe the only thing we're gonna do on this stream is fight this Grand Djinn. So, I'll just say before going in, this Grand Djinn is pretty much the polar opposite of the Mercury one that handed our butt. It doesn't heal and is a lot more frail, but it also hits a lot harder. So I feel a bit more confident getting to this one, but I also feel fairly confident that we're going to have to reset a couple tries, because I don't know why I went through all that trouble trying to do that demonstration of Djinns in mixed classes when it's so much easier to show off in the base class. Because, like, you see, Lord is the strongest class that we can get in Dawn of Djinn for Venus on Venus. Watch what happens when it's even more generous in model classes, so kind of balances out in the fact of, like, if you mix your Djinns, you get a wider variety of moves, but if you're a fan of alternating between synergy and normal Djinn and Djinn abilities, it might be worthwhile just to hang out in default classes, just so instead of one Djinn, we keep access to things like Odyssey, and I guess we're too low on level to really see much else. But trust me, when we get high enough in level, we will get to see other Djinns that are tied to the Lord class. Let's see if I have a better shot at explaining things with the champion class. Not similar scenario. How about Ivan? I guess Ivan's a good example, because yeah, like Shrine Plasma, Widebind, Destruct Ray, all gone. We get Clear Supply back if we says Djinn, but Cold Break. Oh, I forgot we had Pure Ply, so yeah, we have, especially this early on, that's essentially an AoE heal, because that's normally for Lost Age. And granted, I did nerf some of the endgames. I did nerf some spells to keep in count with the fact that they normally wouldn't exist in this game by technicality, but they're still fairly powerful. To the point where Pure Apply might as well be a full heal on a single party member. Alright. That being said, do I really want to go into this fight as is? I think I might want to make a white mage. At least have someone be a white mage. Sure. It may not be the greatest idea to have Ivan have half in the end of the skit, but it'll be fine. Once we get this Djinn, we'll be one step closer to not having to being in this awkward situation. I might as well just like get two Jupiter Djinns that I'm definitely gonna use a lot, and Ivan to be able to alternate between. Actually, I want to keep draft. Having easy access to draft will probably actually be pretty useful for this fight in particular. So it's a little unorthodox. Could use a little more synergy. Screw it. These sort of situations are what the Hermes Water is for. Top off our health. Save again, so don't have to do all that over. And, here goes something. Hey, little guy!